Hi. Hi, everybody. Hello. It's me. Hello. Так. Hello. It's me. Hello. Hello. It's me. Hello. Так, треба ще ТГшку. Прикріпить. Най буде. Оп. Йоу. Оп. Все. ТГшечка є. Що? Може хтось під'єднається з телеграма, поки поспілкуємося з вами, товариство. Всіх вітаю. Як у вас справи? Все у вас класно, чи не дуже? Ну, коротше. Що вам розказати? Мені принесли кота на перетримку. Майя! 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 Ходи. Майя! Маєчка! Де ж на ручки? Ти боїшся, да? Давайте я так покажу. Оп. Во, Майя. А? Пішла. Ну, коротше, якось так. Оп. Де. Так, що? Коротше, я буду дивитись, бо все одно завтра на роботу. Хто приєднається, той приєднається. То така тема. Так. Так, це все нафіг. Коротше, дивимося. Бля, я не знаю, що по субтитрам. Оп. По субтитрам українською. Типа я буду дивитися англійською, то мені то похер, я то щось і пойму. Зараз гляну, чи є українські субтитри. Понятно, що їх нема. Так, може автоматичний переклад на яку урду, да? Українська. Подивимося, як воно перекладає. Коротше, go.
So you brought son. Is good.
You brought son. Я думаю, сина принесли. Але переклали як сонце.
Yeah, the weather's been great since I've been here.
Сан. Ні, це таке, типу, сонячна погода в цьому прикол.
Are you planning on releasing this interview, or can I release the interview? Because it's very unexpected. I was hoping to ask you to do a sit-down interview, but this is actually the perfect location to do it. So I'd be happy to release the interview in full if you allow me to.
I don't know. I think that our teams will speak about it.
Ні, нормально перекладає. Взагалі. Ну, поки питань нема.
Yeah? How to do it? You will make discussion, I think. Yeah. But you didn't want to sit? You want to walk or something?
No, this is perfect. I said this is...
Зеленський хоче погуляти з дівчиною. Хоче погуляти, кофе попити, півка, чебуреком пригостить на київську перепічку, таке. Побачив молоду дівчину і все, американку з-за моря. Все, поплив.
This is perfect, actually. The location's great, so...
How was the trip to Kyiv, by the way?
The trip?
Yeah.
It was very long.
Very long, yes, true.
Because there's no airspace.
Yeah.
There's no way to fly here, so I had to take the train from Poland, which was nice. It was an experience. Yeah, it was fun.
New experience.
Yeah.
Послухай, що по звуку.
It took like 30 hours to get here, though. It took a very long
From
time.
the United States.
Yeah.
The car is not comfortable, but quicker.
Yeah. So it was fine. It was a good experience. I got to see a lot of the destruction when I was coming.
Раз. Ну, коротше, щось. Ні, звук точно є. Блін, може трошки тихше зробити. Цей. ОБС. О, так. Все, я думаю, буде нормально. Чути так.
Coming in, so it gave me a good idea as to, you know, how much of Ukraine has been destroyed by Russian missiles and drones.
Absolutely. And thank you so much. And I saw, by the way, very cool video where you're in Lukyanovka. Yeah, you went to McDonald's.
I went to McDonald's, yes.
Yeah.
President Trump's favorite fast food restaurant.
But they destroyed this place.
Yes.
And they destroyed so many times. I was there after attacks. Several times I was there. And it's so strong people. Really, I can't even imagine how it would be. They live there. And of course, after alarms, they go to bomb shelters. But really with children, with
Ні, Лук'янівці я дуже співчуваю, там просто якась срака. Просто срака. Співчуваю вам, люди.
dogs, with animals. So
It was very sad.
yeah,
But it's really shocking to me, and I guess I've been to Israel, so I've seen, you know, people in other countries respond this way as well. It's just how resilient the people of Ukraine are, because if that were to happen in the United States, the police would block off the entire street and nobody would be able to access it for safety reasons. It would be like a criminal zone.
А на що, ну все класно. Пролетіло, хоп-хоп. Звичайний понеділок. На роботу ж треба йти.
Right, a crime zone. And so it was very interesting to see the McDonald's sign and then, you know, eating my burger and my French fries and my Coca-Cola with a blown out building from a ballistic missile, and people couldn't believe it. I'm sure you saw the comments online, but it's a testament to how resilient people are ordering their food.
А бургер ж український хочеться попробувати. Ну і пофіг, що прилетіло. Типа, поїсти то хочеться. Да.
Food, walking around, going grocery shopping, taking their dogs out.
people.
It's almost like they're so used to it, it doesn't even affect them. But it's an American business. And I think that a lot of Americans need to see that it does affect our country because, you know, I'll admit I've said some pretty terrible things about Ukraine and terrible things about you as well, openly on social media. I mocked you. I, you know, was part of the group of people in the United States who was very frustrated by the state of my country. I'm a Republican, I'm not a Democrat, and so I was very unhappy with the United States sending billions of US tax dollars to Ukraine when our own country is suffering. And so if you could please explain to the American audience, how is supporting Ukraine with US tax dollars America for?
Якби приїхав Такер Карлсон, все було по-іншому. То я б зразу про історію там почав питати, щось інтересне. Це така слабенько. Але Такер Карлсон вроді хотів поговорити з Зеленським, але Зеленський відмовив. Забоявся Такера Карлсона, серйозного інтерв'юєра. От Путін, він не побоявся. Робіть висновки.
First, and what are the benefits of the United States supporting Ukraine and recognizing the struggle of the Ukrainian people as a struggle of America's future?
Thank you very much. You know, first of all, about your McDonald's. So it's important. First, you know, it was always for me very important. Even during first Oval Cabinet with President Trump, I always tried just to say only one thing, that it's so important for us that American people, if they can come, if they can find, these 30 hours. Yes, it's too long, but in any way, if they can come and
Кам? Ні, вони можуть кам, це точно.
and just live with us a little bit, 1 day, 2 days, not too much. I understand everybody is
On holidays, on weekend, please. Mr. Trump, you're welcome in Ukraine, please come to Ukraine, yeah. and maybe walk around, I don't know, around Хрещатик, maybe around Lukyanivka metro station, railway station, or what you want, subway, subway. Yeah, sorry for my English. Yeah, 1-2 days, 1-2 days. Maybe in Sumy, Kharkiv. Okay, okay. Let's котик, ребят, котик. Оп. Видно котик. Все, вертаємося. Котика подивилися. Так, все.
easy, but just to live and to see the life, to see it's a bit the death, to see this difference like you saw here, everything is destroyed by, after missiles, and near McDonald's world, and near children are smiling. Yes, so it's the resilience of our people, but it's also very symbolic that Russia.
Ну, а що робити? Що не жить, бо в нас війна чи що? Ну, типа. Жить треба. Життя продовжується, да, воно таке печальне, але що зробиш?
Brought to us this war and brought to but why we fought. The answer with this situation with McDonald's, the answer about all the war is that we are not ready to die, that even after attacks we want to survive. That's all. We love where we live with the people whom we love, kiss, and you know, and our children, and this is our resilience because we love the life. Yeah, maybe it's not, you know, in today's world, maybe it's very, how to say, primitive.
Може це коли ти купляєш преміум, то в тебе такі офігенні субтитри. Бо щось до цього автоматичний переклад, ну такий, якщо чесно.
Right.
Yeah, values. Huh?
Коли в мене був звичайний, типу, лоховський ютубчик.
Naive, sorry. Yeah, maybe it's naive, but it's true. And that's why Russia was surprised and the world was surprised why we joined it and defend it. No, because we defended our homes.
Right.
It's not about, you know, big, you know.
Well, and we can
hero
appreciate your
things.
desire to, you know, protect yourself and proclaim your right to survive and exist as a people.
Yeah.
But what do you say? What is your message as the president
about
of
money.
Ukraine to the people of America who are also just trying to survive? We have nearly $40 trillion of debt in our country. Americans are still trying to recover from Bidenflation. We have closed borders now, but we had an invasion of our country. Over 25 million illegal aliens who came in. There's an estimated 100 million foreigners, right? 65 million illegal aliens, and you know, over 50 million people who could.
І що? І що? Оцих нелегалів на роботу. Ну, більше людей, більше роботників. А ще лучше в армію. І все. Інтернаціональний легіон. І в Іран. Засуджую, якщо.
Qualify for deportation living in America, driving up the cost of living. And I think when Americans are struggling to put gas in their cars and pay for food for their children, they want to know, why should I care about funding Ukraine? Why should I send my tax dollars overseas? So if you could explain to the
Yes, of
viewers
course.
how protecting Ukraine ultimately protects America in the long term.
You know, at the very beginning of the war,
Ніяких пояснень, просто дай. Просто дай. Дай. Дай.
nobody was with us, really. With all respect to partners, I mean, it's their internal decision to support or not. It's true. We began the war. Before the war, we didn't have any kind of weapon, any money from the United States. It's understandable. I mean, it's okay. No question. When we defended, when everybody in the world understood that Russia will not stop with Ukraine. So they began these, you know, massively narratives that Ukraine and other.
And Moldova next. Yes? And next, this is Estonia, Litva, Latvia. No. Pause. No, Poland is difficult, but good choice. Good choice. Окей. А що зі звуком? Ой, я виробив звук, случайно.
We've been not in NATO, but they, tried to occupy us because they wanted to build USSR, Soviet Union. I think between us, I think that Soviet Union is the most dangerous enemy for the United States.
Чого? Це не ворог. Це не ворог. Це конкурент. Це гідний супротивник. Це коли був совок, Сполучені Штати, вони розуміли, що є з ким змагатися. А зараз з ким змагатися? З Китаєм, так. Да. Але в США дуже лохавська зараз позиція. У них дуже серйозні президенти останнім часом. Починаючи з пана Обами. А до цього вони взагалі... Та, коротше, Буші всякі, коротше, там взагалі печалі, типа, останній нормальний це Рейган був. Все. Останній нормальний Рейган. Нормальний чувак. А далі все. Печаль, біда.
Not only for your democracy, way of life, for all these things what you said, for private sector, for business, and etc. It was during 70 years, and it will continue because the most global idea of Putin is to take everything back. Soviet Union, republics who've been in Soviet
Ні, на Монголію буде тяжко вернути, там сложно. Кіно та вся херня. Важко.
Union, past Soviet Union republics, and also Europeans. Of course, not the United States. It's far from away. But the United States has business in Europe, influence, and etc. It's a global war. Then, if Russia will be a Soviet Union again, and they had a chance, until now they had this mission and idea, if they will have Soviet Union, you will get China and Soviet Union, the biggest empire, the biggest army in the world, and they will be really bigger than the United States, and it will be dangerous for you. That's
Well, that's
why.
their goal with multipolarity.
Yeah, but I think this is important to understand that Ukraine by ourselves been the wall of all these dreams of Putin. That is the first. This is during first period, and we've got money from the United States, but we've got it's not about money, it's weapon, but it's money. In any way, it's expensive for you and expensive for Europe, but you paid for this wall. The second point, of course, with all the things about how to say freedom and etc. I'm not speaking, and not even speaking about all these values, which are also very important. But there is a practical way. This is the wall. You paid the wall, and that's why they can't get USSR again. This and be the biggest enemy for the United States. The second point, nuclear weapon, nuclear enemy. The
Додайте ядерну зброю, будь ласка. Хоч тактично. Так, чисто по кордону бахнути і все.
second point is after Biden's presidency, when the President Trump came, he said, "I will not give you something without money." Yes, it was the
Якщо що, засуджую війну. Твічі, я засуджую війну.
the new page of
Будь-яку війну, будь-яке насилля.
our relations with the United States during the war. And he said, "I will sell weapon to Europe because all of us is NATO countries, and also it's business, it's big business really. And we created with Americans program Pearl, and each day from the first day of presidency of President Trump, we bought everything from the United States. Weapons, yes, and the United States sold it not only to us, to different countries. It's business, it's good. What Americans
It's business, it's good. Єрмак теж казав, it's business, it's good. It's good, Mr. President.
got back. There is a big difference when America
6-7.
sold to us or to some other countries in different continents.
Давайте ще раз. Оп. Побачите, 6-7.
Big difference when America sold to us or to some other countries in different
Я просто молодежный, я знаю ці приколи.
continents. The difference is next. America got the experience. All the experience of this war, all the generals of the United States, they accepted it already. I think that President Trump knows it with details. America has exclusive without paying for this experience, but their lives. Yes, we paid, and this is because of the war. Yes, because, not because we wanted it, but we have the greatest innovation experience,
Especially with
technological
drones.
drones.
And I know, congratulations, I saw this week that the United States just signed
Yeah,
their partnership
the first step
for
is
drones. And I
great.
know that at the Pentagon, at least, I'm a Pentagon correspondent, and Secretary of War Hegseth recently announced that they're actually creating a new position at the Pentagon called the Drone Czar. And I think that Ukraine is really leading the way in a lot of the drone innovation and a lot of the drone technology. And you said you would be willing to have an exclusive partnership with the United States as it pertains to drone technology. Perhaps
Дай. Ми теж можемо дати. Ну, в натурі. Дрончики можемо дати.
you can further elaborate what that exclusive partnership would look like, and why is it that you think that, you know, the United States is, I would say, somewhat behind Ukraine when it comes to our drone production output? If you look at the
Америка відстає від України. Да. Уровень, да? Уровень. Понимаете? Наш рівень, да? Жорсткий, потужний, потому що у нас потужний президент. Ну і Трамп, да? Ну. Вже скільки йому? Скільки Трампу років? 80 плюс, правильно? Чи 70? Ні, 70 з чимось, да, йому? Ну, вже все. Ну, вже, скажімо так, пісюн не стоїть. Ні, понятно, що він якісь таблетки п'є, я бачив він тік-так з цим Джезі Венсом. Ну, Трамп пив тік-так, ну як пив, просто гамав їх. Пропонував Джейсі Венсу, але відмовився Джейсі Венс, я так розумію. Це трохи мені нагадало цей відос з Януковичем, коли він пропонував Медведєву і Путіну, теж конфетку, але цей Путін відмовився, а Медведєв він за любу движуху, типа, йому взагалі пофіг, типа, ти взяв конфетку. Медведєв чіткий тип, нормальний мужик, такий класний. У него есть классный телеграм-канал, да. Записки сумасшедшие называется.
numbers, the United States is on track to produce about 300,000 drones this year, and Ukraine is about to produce 8 million. And personally, I think that that is something that, you know, more Americans should learn about. I think that there's a messaging issue in the communications that I've seen here in Ukraine, and I've spoken with your staff about this extensively. I don't think that the Ukrainians and your office does a very good job at messaging how supporting Ukraine could be America first, or how it's beneficial for America's national security. I think that emphasizing more of this exclusive relationship with drone production could benefit the United States, because we've seen that drone technologies and drone warfare is the future. And we saw just right before 4th of July, there was an attempted drone attack on the White House. And you have civilians now who are trying to...
Я щось пропустив, що? 4 липня атакували... Що? Почекай. Мені ж цікаво стало. Я реально щось пропустив. Оп. 4 липня. Атака на Білий Дім. Жодної реальної чистої атаки безпосередньо на Білий Дім. Фейки? Фейки, да? А, да, якісь, я бачив приколи якісь. Ну, коротше, я понял, вона не прочекала інфу. Коротше, не було ніякої атаки. Якийсь прикол. Па-па-па-па-пам. Так.
to buy drone materials on the dark web, or they're buying them online, or they're buying them from China so that they could make, just
Та, пане Володимир Олександровичу, дайте їй дрону. Хай візьме. Якогось мавіка хоча б.
handmade drones themselves to launch attacks in civilian areas. And so, do you foresee that military partnership expanding, and how do you think that's going to benefit the United States long term?
So, first of all, we want to make the biggest drone deal, especially with the United States. They already have got this experience from us.
Ми будемо робити бабки. Ми будемо робити бабки, ребята. О! А? Чуть-чуть намахаємо цих, да, американців. Намахаємо чуть-чуть. Ну, у нас президент єврей, тому я думаю, він знає, що робить. Не шари, як робить бабки.
Then we push and send some kind of sea drones, air drones, long distance drones, middle strike, deep strike, a lot of things.
Ай хвалиться.
Just to try and train. I will not tell you, sorry, I can't share publicly where they tried it and etc. But we did it without any documents because we are partners. Then this experience, when we share this experience of modern technological war, when we speak with the soldiers, with Americans, with generals and officers, they said, if without your experience for the America, they can get to this level. I mean, this experience, this knowledge, they had 10, 20 years. So America got back absolutely exclusive things. The second point, when we will sign drone deal, we already signed, as you said correctly, first step. The second step, I want to do it as quick as possible with President Trump. I know the document almost ready. So what we know, what is very important. Now you have drones. And now already Russians and we have drones 3,000 plus kilometers. And this year we will have 4,000 kilometers. Next year from 5 to 10. So with all respect, so 10,000, it means
З усією повагою, ви американці, я ж не лох, а ви, понімаєте, да?
that United States is closer to the potential enemy. Yeah, and it's been told the distance is the second question will be the most important technology. This is what we have. And America has great technologies. So our drone deal, it's with
Ми то лучше, ми ж лучше, понімаєте? Ти понімаєш ти, американка? Ми ж чуть-чуть повише. Чуть-чуть. Пойми це просто.
win. We will build great factory in the United States. We want to be lines of productions because drones just can't be in shelter. It's not artillery. It's not missile. Drones are changing each 6 months on the battlefield, sometimes each 3 months.
So when you say we, you're talking about Ukraine. Are you saying that the Ukrainian government, under your direction, is going to send teams of drone manufacturers to America free of charge to help Americans boost their drone manufacturing?
Yeah, we want to do joint
Я хочу поїхати в Америку.
manufacturing, and I don't know free of charge. I'm not sure because it's private sector. But from our side, this idea, and of course, it's just signing and acceptance, and then private sector will do it together. They will make business and etc. Our goal from the government is not to allow them send it to some dangerous countries.
Right.
Yeah, this is very important to hold it for.
А можна не в Америку, а в Канаду, будь ласка. Там поприкольніше, я думаю. Якось краще, я думаю. А ще краще куди? В Молдову.
For the United States, for Europe, for Ukraine. That's all.
I want to get into U.S. relations with Ukraine. You've kind of had a tumultuous, experience over these it's almost been 5 years now, right? Since the war broke out, by the end of this year at least. And so, you've had to deal with the Democrats and the Biden administration when the war broke out, and then of course
Вже з лохана. Це з демократами, лохами.
Of course, you're now dealing with the Trump administration.
А тепер з нормальним мужиком, Трампом. Во сила.
You came to the United States a few months ago and you had what was perceived in the media to be not such a great meeting with the president and the vice president. It appeared that you were escorted out of the White House, and it created quite a sensation in the United States. But as of recent, it looks like your relationship with President Trump and America in general is improving, and it's looking like it's moving in a positive trajectory. Can you explain how that relationship has transpired over the last few months since you
Та знаєш, як покращились відносини. Ми просто пограли карти нарешті, я навчив його грати дурачка, далі, в Деберць він не вмів грати, тому я теж його навчив. В очко це його любима ігра. В очко це він прям обожає це грати. Оце збирать 21, любить Трамп, любить такі движухи, все-таки не дарма на остров Епштейна їхав. Хорошо.
your not so great meeting at the White
Засуджую, якщо що, повністю.
House and why you find yourself in better terms with the president?
No, I think that now our relations are better and really good. We had last several communications already, and they've been positive and very productive. I love when leaders can meet and when we can meet with president and have some outcome, some result, not only that we support, we thank you, and we thank you, I mean this,
Right.
etc. Yeah, so.
But it really seems like the tone has changed
Yeah,
since your visit
absolutely.
when you got yelled at by the vice president in the Oval Office, and the media was reporting that you were asked to leave. And so my question to you is, what happened? Because it seems like the relationship has greatly improved. Is there something that you could share with the viewers about maybe your conversations with the president?
Ще я йому скинув всі випуски свого кварталу, як я в КВН теж грав. Ще скинув йому нормальний серіал. Спочатку, щоб він «Сватів» подивився, дуже хороший серіал про те, як треба себе поводити з сватами, і взагалі, як жити життя в селі, як працювати, як налагодити відносини в сімейні. Також, що я йому скинув, як треба бути правильним президентом, це серіал «Слуга народу». Трамп все перейняв з цього серіалу, і тому він зараз себе так поводить. Поки велосипед собі не купив, але планує.
Conversations are better, absolutely changed. You are right that the tone has changed, absolutely. We had first like changing moment in Rome, in Vatican.
Yeah.
Yes, it was not long meeting, but I always said that is, I think, historic moment because we
Там дуже гарна фотка була, дуже красиво.
changed their relations during 15-20 minutes. So nobody was around us. We've been only two of us, and I was very happy to hear president, and I hope, and I was, and he heard me, and I heard him, and I think it was let it be between two of us, but it was very good. We come down, and it was very good, and I'm so happy because a lot of lives depends on such relations and dialogue. And then we had meetings in G7, then we had meetings in NATO in Ankara, in Turkey,
І на острові Епштейну.
and G7 in France,
Засуджую.
and I think in the United States. Sorry. And yes, in some conversation by phone. By the way, good conversation,
Right.
very good. I think that the first.
Well, I mean, you just had General Kane speaking before the
General
Senate the
Woods.
other day. He was asked by Senator Kennedy, I believe, General, who do you want to win the war, Ukraine or Russia? And he said Ukraine. And
Перемога буде.
then you had Secretary of War Hegseth inside the Oval Office. giving everybody a lecture about how Russia and Iran are not our friends. And so we saw that about a week or so ago, President Trump, after the death of Senator Lindsey Graham, tweeted that he wants Iran to be added to the Russia sanctions bill. And by posting that on Truth Social, it seems like the president is willing to sign that Russia sanctions bill.
В Truth Social тільки Трамп, да? Там більше ж нікого нема, да?
When it reaches his desk. So how does that make you feel? And why do you think the American people should get on board with a Russia and Iran joint sanctions bill?
First of all, I think that President exactly understood that who really doesn't want to stop the war.
Хто? Хто? Ой.
I think so. So I mean this, even not this way. So he understood that we want to stop.
Оцей Медведєв, це ж він, це він піддьоргує Путіна. Це він оце нашептує йому на вушку Путін. Продовжай, Володя, продовжай.
He understood that we really want peace. That there have been before a lot of voices that Ukraine doesn't want to stop, and they said, of course we want to win.
Right.
Yeah, of course, it's understandable. We are people and we are right here on our land, etc. But first of all, we are focusing on the human lives. So if tomorrow we can stop the war to make ceasefire, it's better than to fight 10, 20 years for the victory and to
Столітню війну.
lose your people.
Right.
Of course, ceasefire is better. And I think that President Trump began to
Нам треба знайти свою Жанну Дарк. Ну, кандидатів багато, насправді, типу. Ну, Юлія Володимирівна не підходить. Хто ще? Мар'яна Безугла. Хороший кандидат, в принципі. Хороший, вона, в принципі, може, вона серйозна жінка. Хто ще? Давайте думати. Женщина. Та й все, більше немає ніяких жінок. Ну, прем'єром була Юлія Сверденко, вона вже ушла. Щось у нас дуже мало. Ця, господи, з Європейської солідарності, як її, така білява, забув. Ну, ладно, там є ще одна з Європейської солідарності, Софія Федина, вроді. Ну, то теж серйозна жінка. Ну, така вона потужна жінка, серйозна. Нам треба свою Жанну Дарк, коротше. Поки ці кандидати не очень. Тільки одна Мар'яна Безугла нормально. Да. Та й все. Коротше, продовжуємо.
to trust me. And this is what's important. And I think this is the key when you ask how the tone changed. And I think that was the key. I don't know in what moment, maybe in Rome, but step by step, I tried to explain. And I think that he understood me very well. So, and you said something else also.
He posted on Truth Social.
Oh,
but
yeah, I think this is a great idea.
I said, do you think that Americans should encourage their
This is
lawmakers
great
to
idea.
support the Russia and Iran sanctions
Yeah,
bill?
Lindsay really was involved to this bill, and he was I don't remember about 1 year and a half, something like this. And I think the idea of President Trump to join the sanctions on Iran,
Right.
we support this idea. Of course, this is very good idea. I think that this idea is strong because you can join maybe different people in Congress, Senate. You can join people who are, somebody is supporting Iranian sanctions, somebody is Russian sanctions. So this is the idea. If I understood well.
Yeah,
But
thank
if
you.
I'm right, sorry.
So I want to
I'm right. You're not right. I'm right.
transition now into why I'm in Ukraine and my concern with Russian propaganda. I'm just going to be very honest with you, so you might be offended by what I say or what I'm asking you, but I think it's really important to have this conversation. I was very anti-Ukraine. I said that I didn't have a problem with Vladimir Putin. I was very angered when you came to the United States in 2020, I believe it was 2023 or 2024, and you campaigned with Democrats. And you there was an image of you and there was video of you signing, I believe it was either a rocket or some type of drone in a factory in Pennsylvania, and you were campaigning with the Democrats in Pennsylvania.
Не штовхануло це все. Це все, що вона
Do
розказала.
you think that you were ill-advised by your advisors, and do you regret campaigning with Democrats in the United States? Or do you
Конечно. Зараз Володимир Олександрович скаже, що демократи лохи.
think that you were set up to participate in campaign events with the Democrats?
I didn't really. I
Каже, демократи лохи, Байден лох.
really we didn't think about it. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't want to be involved to any campaign. Even in September, I was in New York. I was and had meeting with President Trump in September. I think before it was 4 months or something like this before he was elected. So no, it was not about politics and elections.
Right.
I came to the. I came. My team they prepared factories. Needed very much artillery rounds. We had deficit. Now we have profit, but we began to produce it. But
Да, зараз у нас взагалі все класно. Особливо ППО проти балістики. Ну, все так класно.
those time it was a big problem. I have a deficit with NATO standard artillery round 155 caliber. So we didn't have. It was a big problem, huge problem. I tried to find solution that we will produce in Ukraine to have some licenses or to buy. And I asked Europe, and I was in different factories in Europe, in Germany, in Czech, different countries in France, and also I was in the United States. It was not just United States, it was also United States. I came to Pennsylvania, there they have this factory, artillery factory. Believe me, if I knew that this is something connects with elections, no, of course
With Kamala Harris and Josh Shapiro. But now looking back, now that you realize that they used that opportunity to make it seem like you were campaigning for them, do you regret participating in that experience?
Да. Дуже шкодую, ну, Камала Харріс, ну, ні о чому.
Because that's one of the reasons why a lot of Americans came to dislike you.
О, каже, перекладі, я не розумію. Що вона хоче?
No, I didn't want to be involved to any
So
conflict.
do you regret that meeting took place?
I am regret for this, my action, yeah, I absolutely regret.
I agree that I was, because I think that I'm involved. Maybe I mean this. I don't know. I really am. Sometimes people want to use opportunities, and this is elections, and this is the war. But that's what I wanted to say to you, that nobody could tell me that I can't meet in New York with President Trump when he
Right.
was a candidate. Yes, they also Democrats could say that, look, you're now in the campaign because in September and the elections will be only, the results will be only in January. So I don't agree that me personally, maybe situation, but me personally was involved to elections in Pennsylvania, or I was other side was involved to elections
Та через Зеленського Камала Харріс і програла. От і все.
Right.
in New York. So I couldn't support any candidate, and that's why I had official visit those
Yeah,
times.
I just want to convey, because I think sometimes, I saw that there was some internal polling from Ukraine that showed that only 17% of Ukrainian people have a favorable view of the United States, which I'm confused it's not higher because we send them so much aid in defense against Russia. And also the
Обідлась. Я ж не знаю, що це за опитування, але окей.
opinion towards Ukraine and the United States is not very favorable. And so I just wanted to share with you, as somebody who was anti-Ukraine and who did consume a lot of Russian propaganda. I used to write articles for RT. I wrote about 5 articles for RT, and I regret doing so. And I've come to realize that I
Чого? Раша тут дає. Супер. Досуджуєш.
was bamboozled by Russian propaganda.
Вони ж вроді вже забанені, правильно? В Європі і так далі. Що дещо вони транслюються. Коротше. Ну в Європі точно, може в Угорщині ще показують. Хоча вони вже в Європейському Союзі, то то не мають. В Туреччині може. Там непогано. І в Британії, полюбе. Він же вийшли з Євросоюзу. Ну, коротше.
Propaganda, and I came to believe a lot of untrue things about Ukraine. I used to think that this was a country full of Nazis. I'm just
No,
trying
we are
to.
not
Да, каже, да.
I'm just trying to convey to you how sometimes optics,
Yeah, I
if things
understand.
are not done in a very precise manner, how it can be conveyed and how much damage can be done to your country's image. Because
Ну, Зеленський тако, батько наш Бандера, Україна, мати, ми за Україну підем воювати.
Democrats, I think they really exploited your visit. I want to ask
But
you.
can I tell you honestly? Yes,
О, honestly, давай, honestly.
honestly.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry.
Yes.
Сорі! Дурочка, сорі! Ну, ти взагалі не розумієш життя, ти. Ти звідки приїхала, ти? З Америки. Тут, ти в Україні, тут все по-іншому. Нацис, ти кажеш нацис? Да.
For the things what I tell you, what I will tell you. I think if I knew or if I really could be involved to
Ти в курсі, що я єврей? А мене вибрали нацист. Ти в курсі? Це взагалі як?
elections, maybe Democrats could have a little bit better results.
Well, we don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want Democrats winning.
I understand.
Нічого собі потужний.
I think that I
I'm
think
just
that
joking.
I mean, I think President
Він наш наступний диктатор, так що готуємося.
Trump, who do you think is a better president, Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
He had great results, 70. You know, the best president is the first of all the president for your country. You know,
Donald Trump.
for today, Donald
You
Trump.
believe he's the best president?
Да! Да! This is best president of all time.
The best president of the United States.
Yeah.
Now history will answer because I think that Lincoln.
Lincoln.
Yeah.
Та лох. Лох.
Free the slaves. But after Lincoln, who do you think is the best?
I know a lot.
President Trump is
I
going to
know.
watch this interview.
Давай. Кажи.
No, Trump is good.
He gave you a
Trump.
MAGA.
Trump is good, yeah.
No,
I heard a story. I heard a story that he gave you a MAGA hat. When you bought this.
Мало
Yeah,
подобався.
so Trump is strongly.
Чи Зеленська не одягне? Блін, я прийшов би всі кепсі мага на це інтерв'ю, ну, в натурі.
Leader. He is the best or not. Of course, history will answer. Sometimes we live and we don't know. Sometimes we have monuments for somebody, and then we understand that it was not great person. So
О, в натурі, замість Катерини в Одесі поставимо пам'ятник Трампу. Я не проти.
it's really we can't. I think that it's not right to value. Yes, what's in the value?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Value.
Yes. Value.
Yeah, it's not right to evaluate persons during their life because after, no, I wish him long years. No, I mean that, but after the people will say, and of course, this is the most important thing, really.
I want that Donald Trump will be president of all time. Forever. Отак треба казати.
Because difficult moments,
Right.
difficult historical pages, difficult wars, and in the world, and big influence of the United States. So
I want to give you an opportunity to speak directly to an American audience, and especially the MAGA conservatives, some of whom have been consuming a lot of Russian propaganda. You've seen that there are American influencers. There's people like Tucker Carlson. I call him Tucker Carlson, or people like Candace Owens. You like it?
no, I can't smile.
It's a good nickname.
I have to be serious.
He interviewed one of your previous staffers, and she accused you of doing cocaine on his podcast.
О, Я дивився це інтерв'ю з Юлією Мендель, це просто неймовірна жінка. І що скаже Зеленський? Що це неправда?
Crazy people.
What do you have to say to those accusations? Because that was amplified a lot on social media. I'm sure you saw one of your former staffers was interviewed by Tucker, and she was making a lot of very wild accusations.
Absolutely.
Лора, да? Лаура Лумер. Пішли дунем. Пішли дунем. Пішли. Все, заканчуй. Пішли дунем. А що ці питання? Пішли. Нюхнем чуть-чуть.
She accused you of
Засуджую, якщо.
doing cocaine on taxpayer dimes. And so what is your response to that? Because there was also an image, and again, I told you some of these questions might be provocative, but I want to help counter some of the propaganda in real time since we have you here. There was a photo, I'm sure you saw in a video, and it was highly amplified by Russia Today. It's you and Macron hanging out in some back room, and they said
З дружбаном, Макрон.
that you were all doing cocaine. So,
Да, це правда. Да.
true or false? Were you doing cocaine with Macron or were you not?
Смішні. І не тільки кокаїн.
Of course, never. Of course, not. But,
Никогда.
but about Tucker Carlson, if I can.
Але з Такером Карлсом, звісно, ми дунем.
Yeah, if I can answer you. So, there are different people, and different TV viewers and bloggers and etc. Some of them are good, some of them are too hot, too, tough and dance and etc. Some of them popular, maybe not different people. But there are people smart, and there are not smart.
Опа. А хто not smart? А хто not smart? А ну.
For me, I watch smart people.
О! Єрмак розумна людина.
And I never watch not smart people because it doesn't help.
Right.
So I didn't watch the interview of Tucker Carlson
So
with
we can agree he's not.
А зря, там дуже багато контенту. Володимир Олександрович, ви маєте знати, як колишній комік, що треба дивитися такий контент, щоб потім ставити мініатюри у вечірньому кварталі. Це хороший контент.
with anybody.
Yes, good.
With anybody.
President Trump's condemned him. And then, lastly, one of the big conspiracies or, forms of propaganda that I believed, and, I'm Jewish, you're Jewish, we share that in common, is that Ukraine is a country full of Nazis. And I really oppose
Да.
sending my taxpayer dollars to Ukraine because I was under the belief that you had an army, the Azov battalion, full of Nazis.
Да.
And I was shocked when I came to Ukraine and I met with your chief of the national police and I met with the chief rabbi, Rabbi Osman, at the Chabad Center. And I met with some of your other officials here. And they told me that you have a law that
Знаєте, хто найгірші антисеміти? Це самі євреї, так казав Лавров. Що ми Лаврову не будемо вірити.
makes it illegal to be anti-Semitic here in Ukraine. And we don't even have a law in the United States
Yeah,
to make
we
it
have a
illegal.
strong law.
We don't have laws in the United States that ban anti-Semitism, and I'm not advocating for that. We have the First Amendment. But I feel that that is one of the main lines used by Vladimir Putin to justify his invasion and continued aggression in Ukraine, this idea that we need to denazify Ukraine. And even, just being
Давно пора. От в Росії нема нацизму. РДК, да? Лідер РДК, да? От коли подивишся на нього, на його дії, не нацист.
here meeting with Ukrainians talking about this. Russia today they accused me of being a Nazi. Russia said that I was a Nazi collaborator because I'm coming and meeting with some of your staff and visiting Ukraine. So as a Jew, as a Jewish president, leading your country in their defense against Putin's terrorism, how does it feel to be called a Nazi? I've been called a Nazi as a Jew before as well by the Democrats in America. How does it feel to be called a Nazi? And what is Ukraine doing to better combat this lie? I just think you guys need to do a better job,
Maybe.
you know, emphasizing to the international community that it's illegal to own Nazi paraphernalia here, that you'll go to jail if you have Nazi paraphernalia, that it's illegal to be an anti-Semite. And I think that a lot of people, they believe that your army is full of Nazis because we've seen images online of Azov members holding swastikas and then your badges. I think you guys need to change the logo on
Та це хлопці розважаються просто. Ну що поробиш? Такі розваги.
your on the Azov badges.
So, first of all, we have a special law, very strong law. Nobody in Europe has such strong law. Then
Потужний закон.
it's illegal anti-Semitism. Then we did it, and during
Я зробив це. Не ми, я.
my presidency we did it. Yes,
Я.
voted this law. The second point, people have to understand that Ukraine was under total occupation, not Russia. It's interesting. Yes, Russia very partially, but Ukraine totally occupied it during Nazism period of Second World War. And this is important that 8 million of Ukrainians been killed, just killed, 8 million. And before these 8 million, it was Holodomor. It's genocide.
Right.
Where Russian people, Soviet people, they killed 6 million. So that's why, this is a big tragedy for Ukraine because all period of time, millions of people been killed. That's why the big territory and millions of people been killed. So, and Ukraine, maybe you are right. We have to speak about more that there are no Nazism in Ukraine and never was. So we have hundreds of minorities, different people, Jewish minorities, different Jewish people.
Well, you say there's never been Nazis in Ukraine, but what do you say about the mass slaughter of Jews in Ukraine?
Що? Що скажете? Що? Так а хто їх вбивав? Приколи тянеш? Німці їх вбивали, ми тут при чому? Коротше.
The previous mass slaughter of Jews in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of Jews were slaughtered in Ukraine. So when you say there were never any Nazis in Ukraine?
Переклади, будь ласка.
Як її ще раз? Лаура Лумер, так? Мені важко.
Биті в Україні. Але
Yeah, they've been Yeah.
Well,
so
prior
they've been
history,
killed.
there were.
They've been
You spoke about this yourself when the Russians they had a drone strike on the monument to honor all of the Jewish.
They killed
The name. How do you pronounce the name of the monument? And
Я ж теж не поняв. Про яких євреїв йде мова взагалі?
your language.
Babin
is-
Yar.
Yes. So that's what I'm referring.
Все, господи. Бабин, то що? Так це... Коротше, чуйка, почитай історію чуть-чуть.
to.
Yeah, it's
And
during.
you had you condemned Vladimir Putin. I remember you issued a statement. They accused you of doing it yourself. They said that you did it. They
Yeah,
called you a Nazi. They
crazy,
said that
crazy,
it was
absolutely.
basically self-inflicted, like a false flag, as we
no.
call it.
By the way,
But that's what I'm referring to.
but yeah, that what I think maybe you will have time to go there.
Yeah, I
It's
would
not-
love to. Maybe you
Yeah,
can take
it's
me.
not far. It's not far away. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and they attacked by missiles Babin Yar.
Yes.
In Babin Yar, fascists they killed 130,000 people. Just it was lines of people, children, Jewish people,
Right.
and Ukrainians, but mostly, Gypsies.
Ні. Да, там всі, типу, там... коротше, то біда велика.
Yes, but mostly Jewish people. Yes, and we build the monument. It's a big park. Sorry that I said big park, but it's not about, some rest and etc. But our children have to remember, have to know what's going on. And I wanted to say that the number of the number of synagogues, the number of such tragedy monuments, the number of such stories, and the number of such millions of people, this is and law and everything. This is the answer to Putin. What about him? What's going on there?
Просто її питання було сформоване так, а чо на територію України вбили 100 тисяч євреїв? Ну, то ви нацисти, виходить. Ну, про що це взагалі? Це а ти викупаєш, хто саме вбивав? Ну, нашу країну окупували, і німці вбивали євреїв. Ромів вбивали, українців та росіян. Коротше, там, господи, всі, кого хотілося, того і вбивали. Так ж, коротше, її питання, звісно, геніальне.
Well, they persecute Jews, and that's the irony of it. And
they
the problem is they say that they have religious freedom, and he loves to point to the fact that Russian is the second most spoken language in Israel. He likes to create this false image that he's an ally to Jews, but I went to the Lavra yesterday and I noticed that they literally tried to drone strike Jesus. They tried to drone strike Jesus through the Lavra. And you can't call yourself an ally to the Jews or an ally.
Да, Паша Мерседес просто охерел. По Лаврі вдарила російським дроном. Нежданчик від братішок.
To Christians when you are, using your police forces and using your state entities to terrorize people and crack down on religious freedoms. But we're now seeing, this is a form of the Russian propaganda, this idea that Russia is the protectorate of Christianity. And we have podcasters in America. We have a very big problem with Russian disinformation. I personally believe that Russia is paying American influencers. If you ever get evidence of that, please give it to me.
Okay.
Ні, кому вона платить? Росії, що є гроші, що вони все в країну вкладають. Не треба розвиватися, не треба займатися цими непонятними ділами, якусь дезінформацію. Ще скажіть, що вони хочуть загарбати чиїсь територію. Ну, їм треба в себе порядок навести. І там є хороший президент, він розумний. Да. Ще вирвіть це з контексту, і взагалі буде класно.
Or please give it to the proper channels at the DOJ and the FBI, because I think that more Americans need to admit that they've been duped by Russian propaganda. I think that, my hope is that coming here to Ukraine will open people's eyes that, maybe they aren't a country full of Nazis. Maybe our national security is going to improve if we have a strategic drone partnership with Ukraine. Well, maybe the Russians are paying off influencers who are pushing communism and anti-American sentiment and falsely accusing Donald Trump of being a pedophile. That's what Russian media is doing. And I just...
Засуджую педофілію. Засуджую повністю. Нельзя, ребят. Не можна. Хай виросте дитину. І тоді вже можна. Вона має вирости. От почекайте. От моя пропозиція, то якщо ти педофіл, да, якщо тобі хочеться займатися педофілією, ти йдеш в ветеринарну клініку, тобі там роблять кастрацію, байдуже яку хочеш, хімічну, хірургічну, і все, в тебе бажання повністю відбувається. Ти стаєш адекватним членом суспільства, дуже спокійним. Тобі, чи сподобається тобі таке життя? Напевно, ні, бо тебе нічого не буде заряджати в плані мужичої сили, так званої. Але, дурні не будеш робити точно. І все буде класно.
just want to know what your answer is to the American people. How do we combat this?
Look, just a little bit to read about it. For example, I
Почитай. Дура, почитай. Ти почитай трохи. І, і в тебе все відкриється перед тобою. Ти просто почитай. От тобі я зараз дам книжечку, Михайло Грушевський, Історія України. Ти її почитай, потім мені розкажеш. Так. Сьогодні 29 число, так, даю тобі час до 31-го. І ти мені все розказуєш.
You said about Israel and Russian-speaking people who are the second or the biggest minority. So first of all, when mostly Russian-speaking people and from where they went to Israel and got passports? When it was? It was
Міндіч.
during the end of Soviet period of time. From Russia, Ukraine, and by the way, mostly from Ukraine. Because it was a lot of Jewish people here. But they've been in Ukraine, but it was Soviet Union, Soviet Empire. Why these people spoke from Russia, Belarus,
Зеленський він то розказує. Він то розказує. Треба починати з Київської Русі. От так треба. Далі. Галицько-Волинська держава, потім переходимо до козаків, потім до чого? І до УНР. Отак треба розказувати. Треба з самих витоків. А взагалі можна в Трипілля і так далі зануритись. То починає. Треба всю історію розказувати повністю. Комплект має бути. Тотальне розуміння історії.
Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Lithuanians, Jewish people from these countries. Why they spoke Russian language? Because first of all, during 70
Тому що так удобно.
years plus Soviet Union period, they killed all the languages. So it's understandable when you know a little bit history, a little bit, just 100 years. 100 years. So they came, occupied the territories, then killed your traditions, killed churches. The churches was
Скажи їй, Валуївський циркуляр, скажи їй. Скажи їй.
everything was closed. Killed churches, destroyed it. To the churches, they moved, they made.
Боже, а при Совку що було? Тоже якийсь там закон дурний. Я трошки запутався. Валуївський це ж до Совка вроді, не? Ну так, до Совка.
From these offices and other things, but it was churches. There have been churches in different historical buildings. So what they did, kill religion. There is nothing religion, only communistic party. This is only one religion. Then traditions and language. Of course, after 70 years.
Дед Мороз, Ёлка, салат оливье. Также, що ще було хорошого в Совку? Мороженое пломбир, газировка, колбаса хороша, качественна. Звичайно, дефіцит був на неї, але вона була дуже качественна. Що ще було? Всі були рівні. Так. Та й взагалі, всі були щасливі, ніхто мої родичі кажуть, які жили в Радянському Союзі, що вони не цікавились політикою. Там все понятно. Одна партія, все зрозуміло, на вибори не ходимо, що там цікавиться? Там люди розумні, вони розберуться, а ми що? А ми на завод і все класно. І все всіх влаштовувало, тому що всі працювали на державу. І всі розуміли, що в нас велика держава і ми маємо працювати. А зараз що? Демократія, кожен має власну думку, щось розказує владі, таке щось. От тоді був порядок.
People, they of course all spoke Russian language. They of course knew Ukrainian or Belarus language, but mostly they spoke Russian language. These Jewish people, they were.
Російська була просто мовою еліти. А якась українська, то село, то понятно. Я, до речі, особисто, був у мене момент, коли я переходив на російську, коли працював в ветеринарній клініці. Це був який рік? 20-21 оці роки. І типу до мене, ну, типу, в мене було відношення, типу, що зі мною розмовляють мовою російською, я без проблем на неї можу перейти. Типу. Зараз стоїть ви нафіг, абсолютно. Типу, в мене немає відношення, що, типу, обов'язково зі мною українською говори. Якщо ти розумієш українську, ні, не так, взагалі не так. Зараз нормальну думку викладу. Якщо в тебе є український паспорт, то ти маєш розуміти українську мову. Все, крапка. Якщо ти публічно десь висловлюєшся на роботі, ти спілкуєшся українською. Все, крапка. У нас навіть закон є. Вдома, пофіг якою мовою, таке вже. То вже особиста справа. Але в пабліку і на роботі, якщо ти в пабліку і десь висловлюєшся українською. Якщо ти маєш український паспорт. Якщо ні, ну то вже таке. Це тебе не зобов'язує до чого.
Went to Israel because Israel said, come to us if you have Jewish
Опять come. Ну, come, they come.
roots. And people with their families, they went away.
Right.
After that, we've got the independence. And all these republics began to be sovereign countries and began to come to your traditions, roots, to your language, and the talk. And now when they spoke about 1.5 million Russian-speaking people which are in Israel, people have to know they're not from Russia. They are from different countries, but they are not Russian-speaking. They know Russian, but they also know another language. They also have to know Israel language.
Hebrew.
Ivrit, sorry.
Last
Ти ж... Каже, Israel language. Каже, Зеленський, все. Тепер жоден єврей з тобою не поздоровиться. Ти не знаєш, як називається мова євреїв. Ужас, ганьба. Shame on you.
thing I wanted to say, and you know you've been very generous with your
Have
time.
to
but-
run.
Ще скажіть, що Зеленський шабат не робить кожну суботу. Це вообще. Майя, фу. Майя, що ти робиш? Майя, я зараз стану. Майя. Що ти нюхаєш? Не можна, Дар, не можна. Все, молодець. Продовжуємо.
The United States has given Ukraine upwards of nearly $200 billion of aid. Do you have a message of gratitude for the American people, and what are your hopes for the future as it pertains to the future alliance of the United States of America and Ukraine? And
Щиро дякую, дуже дякую. Безмежно вдячний. Це просто неймовірно. Дуже вам дякую. Якби не ви, я вам дуже дякую. Я ще не подякую. Я вам дуже дякую. Дякую.
what would you like Americans to know as, you know, we continue to have hopes for an end to this war?
First of all, we want to end this war. The second, I think, for us, it will be difficult if we will do it without the United States. The third point, if Americans didn't help us, we could be not so strong to have a voice during any kind of negotiations. This is very important. Then, America have got the
America first.
independence. And it was many years ago and paid for this with their American lives. Europe helped American people. Of course, American people fought for their independence, but Europe helped. France helped. Now we are fighting for our independence. And of course, America is helping us with Europe. And in the history of great country, of great nation, of American people, will be a page like United States helped Ukrainian people save their lives and save their independence.
Would you be willing to sign the peace deal with Russia in the Oval Office?
Yes, I'm ready.
Да, конечно, Путін приїде у овальний кабінет. Я бачу цю картину. Конечно. Полюбе. Ой.
I always said to President Trump that I'm ready to come to the United States, or to Oval Office, or to Mar-a-Lago. It depends
Oh,
on
which do you
President Trump.
prefer, Mar-a-Lago?
Маралага? Оазіс. А ну, сорян, я не шарю, де Маралага. Трошки... Ну, не то, що в мене проблема з географією, але Маралага. Все, господи, це клуб, де... Гольф-клуб Трампа.
If you could sign it anywhere, Mar-a-Lago or the White House.
I don't know. It depends on President.
Ну, це чується прикола тягне, да? А, це... Квартал! Квартал зараз не той.
Trump.
It's very beautiful, Mar-a-Lago. Have you ever been to Palm Beach?
I was in Mar-a-Lago. We had good conversation. I didn't see Mar-a-Lago between us, but this everything. But what I saw, it was nice.
Maybe they'll sign it there and you'll get to get the tour.
It
Very
does
nice.
between us. It matter when,
Yeah,
not
when.
where. It's true.
Well,
Thank you.
well,
А потім півко з Путіним, з Трампом. О, клас. Так і буде, да?
well,
Yeah.
I really appreciate
Thank
you
you, Laura.
taking time
Thank
to meet
you.
with me.
Все,
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
нюхать кокаїн. Хорошо. Що, інтерв'ю... Ну, такое. Нічого, в принципі, такого цікавого. Ну, про Макрона був прикол, та й все. А так. Таке. Таке, все, для Ютуба. Ставте лайкоси, пишіть в коментарях, що ваші думки. Кажіть, що стрімер не розбирається в політиці. Що ти взагалі, ти експерта себе тут строїш якогось непонятного, якісь приколи тут кидаєш, так. Ти взагалі за кого? Ти ходив на мітинг чи ні? Ти за Фьодоровича? Чи за кого ти взагалі? Тому да. Все, всім пока. Пишіть коментарі, ставте вподобайки і взагалі не хворайте. А якщо і ви будете захворювати, то лікуйтеся. Лікуйтеся, що ви можете зробити? Попарити ноги. Коротше, кипятити воду, да? Насипати туди гірчиці. Воно так, там така серйозна концентрація буде в цій рідині, цієї гірчиці, і воно вам попарить ножки і розпарить вам ваше життя. Але при високій температурі це не робіть і не слухайте стрімерів взагалі. Не слухайте їхній порад. Все, пока.